All right, let's talk about something that can really send a shiver down your spine when you're dealing with college costs, getting that Parent Plus loan denial. But here's the thing. Instead of seeing it as a total roadblock, we're going to reframe it. We're going to look at it as a secret key that can actually unlock more financial aid for your student. Oh man, if you've seen this email pop up, you know this feeling. It always seems to arrive at the worst time, right? The day is winding down, everything's calm, and then boom, your whole evening just got a lot more stressful. It's a really tough moment, and it's totally okay to feel that little jolt of panic. But this is where we pivot. This is the big idea that changes the whole game. That denial notice, as awful as it feels in the moment, might actually open a brand new door to more federal aid. And get this, it's aid in the student's name with no credit check needed. So, to make this super clear, we've got a simple roadmap. First, we'll look at the hidden opportunity inside that denial. Then, we'll talk real numbers, what this actually looks like in dollars. We'll cover the key rules you need to know, the rules of the road, and we'll wrap up with a dead simple 15-minute action plan you can use like tonight. Okay, first things first, let's talk about how we turn that big, scary no into a brand new path forward. This is where it gets good. So, here it is, the main takeaway. When a parent gets denied for that PLUS loan, the federal government's rules say, okay, in that case, the student can now borrow more money on their own. It's kind of fascinating, right? The system is literally built this way. That denial is the trigger for a new type of eligibility. And what kind of loan are we talking about here? It's a direct unsubsidized loan. That just means it's a federal loan that's 100% in the student's name, and they are responsible for the interest. But, and this is the most important part, there is absolutely no credit check for the student to get it. I love this way of thinking about it. You're not gearing up for some big, complicated fight with the government. You're not filing an appeal. You're just making a simple request to the financial aid office to access something your student is now eligible for. It's not a huge project, it's just flipping a switch. Okay, that's the how. Now for the part you're probably wondering about, the how much. Let's talk actual dollars and cents. The amounts are really straightforward, and they're just based on what year the student is in. For freshmen and sophomores, so first and second year undergrads, this denial unlocks an extra $4,000 in unsubsidized loans for the academic year. For a lot of families, that $4,000 can be a total game changer for covering a gap. And then, for juniors and seniors, students who are in their third or fourth year, that amount actually goes up to $5,000 per year. Again, that's a pretty serious chunk of aid that just wasn't available before that denial came through. So who actually gets this? Well, the qualifications are surprisingly simple. The student just has to be a dependent. You need that formal denial from at least one parent on file at the school. And, this is key, the other parent can't have been approved for a PLUS loan. That's it. One denial is all it takes to open this door. Okay, so now we know about the opportunity and the money. Let's get into a few of the details, the rules of the road, that'll help make sure there are no surprises along the way. This one's really important for managing expectations. If you get a denial in, say, December for the spring semester, you don't get the full annual amount. The aid office will prorate it, so that $5,000 annual loan often becomes about $2,500 for just one semester. It's just simple math based on the calendar. Now, here's a detail that's a little in the weeds, but it can affect timing. Most schools run on a standard academic year, but some use what's called a borrower-based, or BBAY, calendar. All that means is a new annual loan limit could open up sooner for your student. It's definitely something worth asking the aid office about. And finally, the ultimate rule. Think of the school's official cost of attendance, the COA, as the financial aid fire marshal. It sets the absolute max capacity for the room. All of your aid combined, scholarships, grants, every single loan, it all has to fit under that COA number. No exceptions. So when you look at all the options, how does this strategy stack up? Well, as you can see, the additional unsubsidized loan puts the debt in the student's name and has no credit check. Compare that to a private loan, which needs a cosigner and a deep dive into credit and income. For closing a small, unexpected gap, this additional unsub is often the quiet, simple, and best solution. All right, you've got the knowledge. Now let's turn that knowledge into action. This is what you can do in the next 15 minutes to get this handled. Here's your checklist. It's super simple. First, dig up that denial notice. You need the reference number from it. Second, write a quick email to the financial aid office making the request.
And hey, in that same email, you can ask about their calendar type, how proration works, and just confirm there's room under the COA. Easy.
And you don't even have to figure out what to say. Here is the exact template. You can literally just copy and paste this into an email, fill in the parts in the brackets, and click send. Using this clear, direct language is exactly what the aid office needs to see to get this done fast.
And what happens after you send that email?
Well, you should expect to see an updated financial aid award in your student's online portal in about 2 to 7 business days. So it's not instantaneous, but in the world of financial aid, that is incredibly fast. The person whose story this is based on shared this really human moment. After they got the denial and sent that simple email, they just reheated their tea. And I think that's perfect. It highlights the whole point. The anxiety starts to fade once you know what the steps are and you just start taking them one by one.
And that's really the big takeaway, isn't it? This isn't about some heroic battle or a complicated legal appeal. It's just about understanding the process and doing the next right thing, in order. That plus denial, it's not a dead end. It's just a signpost, pointing you down a different, and honestly, often a much simpler path.